Prefer the young and tender? Oh, and tough.
So are the eggs.
We still have the wine. Here's to the storm that washed out the roads, that let me share a very bad meal with a very nice lady. I don't even know your name.
Kate Allen.
Kate.
May the next storm pick a better place than Suggsville.
Oh, no. Okay, here we go again. Oh, wet safe.
And move your things to room 4, Mr. Candy. Roof was leaking right over the bed in the room you had. Your room's dry, ma'am.
Thank you.
I think he's trying to tell us it's time to leave.
I'm afraid he is.
Good night, steak. Rest in peace.
Oh, thank you.
Looks like the rain's letting up, son.
Oh, I think you're right. Will I see you tomorrow?
No, I gotta be moving on. Rain or shine, I'll be leaving early.
Stage drivers had the storm they keep us here for 2 or 3 more days.
Wish I could stay, but I have to do something for my boss.
Good night, Mr. Kennedy.
Good night, Kate. Where did you come from?
I asked her in. That's after I found your door open and the window banging and you on the floor.
No, Wallace.
No.
Oh, they got the envelope.
Lie back, please.
Oh. I walked through the door. That's all I can remember.
Somebody hit you. There's a big lump.
You said the window was open?
Told you. The bangs what brought me up here. Somebody hit you, and that's the way they went out. Of course, nobody come down, not after you went up.
Did you lose much?
$60, maybe. It's the envelope I'm worried about. It's some business documents that belong to my boss.
Well, there's no envelope here. You gonna be all right now?
Yeah, if the ceiling doesn't fall in on me again.
I rent rooms. I ain't responsible for what people do. Good night.
Is there any law around here?
Not here. Auburn or Hawthorne.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Good night. I'd like it in hundreds, please, Thomas.
You Bill Thomas. Right from the safe. Morning, Ella.
You didn't have to tell Thomas that. He knows I like new bills.
Never hurts to remind him. $3,000. A lot of money, Ella.
To pay a debt. It's none of your concern, Harvey. But I know you'll spend a sleepless night wondering if I don't tell you.
I am quite a worrier.
It's a loan. I found a note in Luke's strongbox when I was tidying up after the funeral.
Can't help but wonder why he didn't come to me.
He was in Virginia City, that's why. He borrowed from Ben Cartwright.
I know, Ben. I spent 2 days at his ranch the last time I was over there. Ella, you're not thinking of mailing all that cash, are you?
No. Ben sent a young fellow to pick the money up named, Canby.
Candy, they call him. I know him. I met him there. He's a very nice man. And quite a scrapper, I'd say, if that bent nose of his means what I think it does.
Oh? Well, anyway, he came at 11 o'clock with collateral deed and a letter of introduction.
Ella, I'd like to see him again. Now, I'll be through here in 5 minutes. Do you mind if I stop over to say hello?
Of course not. Have lunch with us.
Now, that's what I was hoping you'd say.
I'll see you then.
Well, here you are. I'll take your bag. Put your horse away.
You're already 2 or 3 hours late because of me. Thank you for letting me ride with you.
My pleasure, Kate. You're kind of good company, you know. Church bells? This ain't Sunday.
It's the Angelus. They ring it every day at noon.
How nice.
All right.
Didn't take you long. I was admiring the portrait. Your husband?
Well, at least that's what that artist thought my husband looked like.
The eyes. Doesn't matter what part of the room you're in. They seem to be looking at you.
I met a friend of yours.
Oh? Who was that?
Harvey Walters.
Yes. Old Harvey. Oh, you did get the money.
Oh, of course.
Well, here's the deed and the note. Now, if you'll just give me the money, I'll be on my way.
Harvey wants to stop by and say hello to you.
Oh, well, Mr. Cartwright gives a man a job to do. He doesn't like any delays. I'm sure Harvey will understand.
Harvey says you're a scrapper. He says that's how he thinks you got that bent nose of yours.
Bent nose? Oh, no, well, he must have me mixed up with someone else. Now, give me the money, please.
Oh, not until you say hello to Harvey. He's going to have lunch with us.
I asked you politely. I want that money, and I want it now! Now!
Peterson? Mrs. Peterson? Come in.
Oh, Candy. Ella! Ella!
Richie's dead.
But how? What happened?
I don't know. I walked in just a minute before you did.
Oh, no, you didn't. She told me... Don't you move. You stay right there. Somebody call the sheriff, quick! You want to tell me about these?
I already have. That envelope, the letter, the deed, and my wallet was stolen from me last night in Suggsville.
Ella told me about the letter and the deed when she withdrew the money. And she said that you were here waiting for her then.
All right, let me ask a question. The money, where is it? You've searched me. You didn't find it.
Well, a place this size, a lot of places to hide things. Oh, we'll find it. But it would save a lot of time if you just tell us where you put it. This woman, what did you say your name was?
Kate Fallon.
Fallon. Where did you see her last?
The hotel?
Inside?
No, outside at the hitch rack.
She told you she was going to stay there.
That's right. She said she had friends to see here in Hawthorne.
Mention any names?
No.
You didn't ask her?
No.
Well, you know, there's only one woman at the hotel, the cook. And she's lived there since the place was built.
She's got to be there.
You know, I think this Kate Fallon is just somebody you invented. When Harvey Walters came in here and saw you bending over Ella's body. You're under arrest, Mr. Kennedy, for the murder of Ella Peterson.
What's wrong?
Oh, nothing's wrong. Nothing. $3,000. Does it look like there's anything wrong?
You were going to meet me here 2 hours ago.
Oh, we circled. I used the back road. Hey, I show you more money than you've ever seen in your life, and you don't even smile. Now, what's eating you?
I'm scared.
What's to be scared of?
You. Like last night. If you'd hit Candy just a little bit harder, you'd have killed him.
You know better than that. I'm not going to kill anybody.
But you'll pick the wrong man one of these days. And he'll fight. Or try to fight. And you'll kill him, and they'll hang both of us.
Now, shut up and listen to me. I want you to get rid of your horse and flag the first southbound stage. And you go to Auburn, and I'll meet you there.
When?
A week. 2 weeks.
What did you do to her?
I grabbed her purse and I pushed her, that's all.
You hit her.
I pushed her! And not very hard.
You hit an old lady. You even lift a hand to an old lady and they lock you up and throw away the key. How bad did you hurt her?
I didn't. Now, on the book, I swear. 3, 4 weeks. We'll get to the little store. I promise.
Will we, Louis?
Livery stable's around back. Why don't I take the horses?
All right. Ask the livery man where Candy's lawyer could be found. What's his name? Hamner? Oscar Hamner.
I'll do better than that. I'll find him and I'll bring him here to the hotel.
Fine.
Mr. Cartwright? Yes. I'm Oscar Hamner.
Oh. My son Joseph.
How are you?
Joseph?
Nice to meet you.
Oh, I reserved a suite for you.
Oh, thank you. I just sent one of my men looking for your father.
My father is at the feed and grain store. Oh. He's a clerk there. I'm Candy's attorney. Mr. Cartwright, I have the feeling you're getting ready to be brutally frank. Would you mind doing it upstairs?
How old are you, Oscar?
24. I know, and I look like I'm about 20. That's usually what's said when I tell people how old I am.
I was going to say that.
Does it matter how old I am?
Mr. Hamner, Candy is charged with murder. His life is in danger. He needs an attorney who is very well qualified.
Oh, in other words, older.
Let's say more experienced.
You've investigated my qualifications?
Hardly. I just met you.
Then you're judging me on appearance, not fact. Yes or no, Mr. Cartwright?
Are you cross-examining me?
Oh, why? Am I doing it wrong?
I say you're doing just fine. Come. Can I watch that one? I found the office, but Mr. Hamner wasn't there.
Oh, this is Mr. Hamner. It's Mr. King. And the man who's in charge of the prosecution, Frank Schulte, he was state attorney general.
He was? He wants to be governor now.
And you want to tangle with him?
Mr. Cartwright, you've heard of David and Goliath? Well, there was no way Goliath could lose. But when he saw David, he had to laugh. He died laughing. Now, Frank Schulte might laugh and say I look like I'm only 20. Well, I hope he does. Because then he won't bother to prepare a case. And I'll win very easily.
Suppose he does bother to prepare a case. What then?
He'll know he's been in a fight. Candy hired me. I'm his attorney until he informs me that I'm not. Right now, I think we should see Frank Schulte.
Why?
To get him to agree to a reasonable bail.
On a murder charge?
The prosecution says it's a murder charge. I happen to think they're wrong. That's one reason for seeing Mr. Schulte.
Let's go.
Ben Cartwright and Oscar Hamner. Now, that's a meeting I'm sorry I missed. First time I saw him, I thought he got lost in here on his way to the ribbon counter.
How'd you happen to hire him?
Because there was only one other man in town that even listened to me. Oscar not only listens, he believes me.
That does make a difference.
Hey, that makes all the difference.
Let's get back to Kate Fallon. Description, age.
She's about my age, I guess. Pretty, a real lady. She said she had friends to see here in Hawthorne. She said she'd be at the hotel.
Maybe she met her friends and decided to stay with them.
I don't think so, Joe. If she were in town, she'd have heard about what happened to Ella Peterson. She'd have been down here to tell the law what time we rode in.
I don't worry, we'll find her.
She had no reason to lie to me. I don't understand it.
Maybe she just, she was out of money and just, didn't want to say.
That's possible. You sick, Griff?
No.
Maybe you should step outside and get some fresh air, huh?
Yeah, maybe that'd be a good idea. If I'll come back to see you later.
Yeah, go on.
Open up. Come on, open up.
What got into him?
Jailhouse fever. Bars and locks. Think about it and the walls start to close in on you. Smash you flat. You gotta find Kate Fallon, Joe. You gotta get me out of here.
I'll check the restaurant and see if he's still there. There he is. Mr. Schulte, I'm Oscar Hamner.
Oh, yes, I've seen you around the courthouse running errands.
No errands today. I represent Mr. Canady. I was wondering, after you finish lunch, if you'd like to meet Mr. Canady's employer.
Well, let's do it right now. This won't take a moment.
Mr. Schulte, Mr. Ben Cartwright.
Schulte, Cartwright, what do you want?
Your consent to a motion for bail.
There's no bail on a capital offense. I believe you wanted to tell me that your employee, Candy, I believe that's his name, is innocent?
Yes, he is. He had no reason to hurt or rob Mrs. Peterson.
How do you know that? Were you present at the meeting?
Of course not, but I know Candy.
Well, we wouldn't be bringing him to trial if we didn't feel we had a fair chance of proving that he's guilty. Now, I suggest you let the law take its own course, Mr. Cartwright.
The autopsy showed Mrs. Peterson died of heart failure.
Any death occurring during the commission of a felony is a homicide. Didn't you go to law school?
By felony, you mean the $3,000.
That is correct, Mr. Hamner. Class dismissed.
Oh, sir, I'm just trying to understand. Now, Mr. Canada is accused of stealing $3,000. But nobody can find the evidence. And with no evidence of a robbery, how did he murder a woman who died of natural causes?
Why don't we leave that to a jury, Mr. Hamner?
Oh, yes, sir. All I'm asking is consent to bail.
Oh, of course. I agree to bail. In the sum of $50,000.
Mr. Schulte, we can't possibly make...
It's all right, Mr. Hamner. I have enough holdings to cover that.
No. I mean cash.
Mr. Schulte, my client's liberty is imperative to find a woman who can clear him.
There is no such woman.
What makes you so sure of that?
Her description was telegraphed statewide an hour after Kennedy was arrested. All responses, negative, including the one about his being robbed at Suggsville.
Do we have access to that information?
All on file at the telegraph office. I'll even have copies sent over to your hotel. Mr. Cartwright?
I'm afraid I didn't help the bail situation much.
Well, you tried. Well, let's see what I can do now.
I'm sorry, Ben. I cannot make that loan.
You know my collateral.
I know your collateral, and we have been friends for years. But this is one time when I cannot oblige you.
Why not?
Ben, this is a bank. And banks have directors and banks have stockholders. And I have to consult with them before I make any sizable loan. I knew you'd want a loan, so I did consult with them. Well, every one of them knew and loved Ella Peterson.
And they all said no.
We all said no. Kennedy killed Ella Peterson, and we're all going to see that he pays for it.
I thought a man was presumed to be innocent until proven guilty.
Oh, he killed her.
Your opinion, Mr. Walters. Your opinion.
I read the statement you gave Frank Schulte. You know, you're the one that convinced me that Candy is innocent.
Not according to Mr. Schulte.
Well, he made the same mistake you did. When you went to the Peterson house, you knocked?
It's customary.
And then what happened?
He said, come in.
That's also customary. But not for a cold-blooded murderer standing next to the body of an old lady he's just killed for money that nobody can find. Think about that, Mr. Walters. The next time somebody says, come in.
Well, they shook him.
Yeah, but not enough to help us. I need money, Mr. Cartwright. Schulte's telegrams won't help our case, or Schulte wouldn't be so willing to let us see them. I'll have to send our own telegrams. I need a witness to corroborate Candy's story.
Yeah. Candy's not going to do too well without one, is he?
Buford. That's the only name I heard. He tended the bar, he served the meals, he rented the rooms, he ran the place. He owned it, I guess.
He's the one that found you after you'd been knocked unconscious and robbed.
Yeah, he was standing there when I came to, along with Kate Fowler.
And what about her? Could she have knocked you out?
Oh, no way in the world.
What about Buford? Could he?
No, he was still downstairs. Whoever hit me was standing behind the door of my bedroom when I walked in.
Is there something that you heard or saw that might give us some clue?
All right, let's forget about Buford for now. I'll ride out and see him tomorrow. What about the stagecoach driver and the shotgun? Where were they?
They were climbing into the rain gear, getting ready to go out to the barn.
Anybody else?
Well, there was an old rancher and his wife. They went upstairs early.
No.
There was one other man. I can't remember anything about him except he didn't say anything to anybody.
Any description at all?
Sorry, he was just another guy.
I'll check all the names in the hotel register.
Maybe. They had one. I saw it, but I don't remember signing it.
Well?
Copies of the telegram sent to Schulte. No mention of Kate Fallon. No help at all. I wired the hotels in the town Schulte missed. And Mr. Schulte is filing for a trial date.
Well, that's routine, isn't it?
He's asking for next week.
Oh, hey.
Well, can't you demand more time to prepare your defense?
To find Kate Fallon?
Yeah.
I'll try. But in view of the responses to Schulte's widespread inquiries, I doubt that the court will listen. We should talk to Buford as soon as possible.
I was going to go to Suggsville in the morning. I think I'll leave now.
You know, I thought that Schulte was going to be fair.
Fair depends on where you're standing. I sent 31 telegrams, 7 replies.
There's one possibility. It's from the Auburn Hotel. Must be Auburn. Mrs. Catherine Gardner, waiting for her husband, arrived afternoon of the 28th.
The day after Ella Peterson died, and Catherine could be Kate.
Well, Gardner isn't Fallon, but she'd change her name if she was in trouble. Shall we get copies of these?
Yes, but not for another hour. Mr. Schulte likes to sleep late.
The Auburn is south of here.
12 hours stagecoach time. I checked at the office on my way here.
Ryder could do it in about, 8 hours?
I think I could get there faster if I had a fresh horse. Joe won't be back from Suggsville till after dark. I could be in Auburn before then.
Well, if Kathy Gardner is the woman we want her here. Tell her we'll pay her for her time and trouble. Hey!
Hi, you must be Buford. Friend of mine needs some help. He spent a night here during the storm last week. Got sandbagged, had some money and papers stolen from him. Name was Mr. Kennedy, room 4. You remember him?
No, don't remember. My name ain't Buford. I kept quiet there, hoping you could tell me something about Buford I didn't know.
Well, where is he?
Can't help you. Like you said, I guess he rented a room to your friend while I was gone.
I suppose you can't tell me where he went.
I wish I could. Name's Will Ryan.
Joe Cartwright.
Yep. I own this place. I leveled the ground, Toted it in the lumber and built it myself. Buford was one of my mistakes.
It's pretty important that I find him.
My brother was sick up country. I left Buford in charge. Figured I'd be gone a week. Stretched into 3. When I got back, Buford was gone.
And you're sure you have no idea where he went?
Your guess, Mr. Cartwright. 2 little rains since the one big one you mentioned. He could have gone any which way. In case you're wondering why he didn't hang around to say so long. There was no cash in the drawer. No names in the register. In 3 weeks, he didn't rent a room, sell a meal, or a drink. That's what the cash box says. Sam, what's your pleasure?
Whiskey in a room. How's your brother?
Gone. Died a week ago.
I'm sorry, Will.
Room 2. Hey, fill it up again?
No, thank you. I apologize. I had a feeling you were Buford.
Figured you did.
See you around.
All right.
Kate? Kate Fallon!
I'm sorry, you have the wrong person. My name's Catherine Gardner.
That's what the hotel clerk told me. Kate?
Who are you?
My name's Griff. The man sent me to bring Kate Fallon back to Hawthorne.
My husband? Well, you still have the wrong person.
There's trouble in Hawthorne, ma'am. If I'm talking to the wrong lady, I guess I better get back and tell him.
What kind of trouble?
Real bad. But I'll just tell him you said your name was Gardner.
Oh, wait. I'll get my bag.
You look kind of peaked. You all right?
I'm very tired. Do you expect us to ride straight through?
Gonna be dark in about an hour. We'll never make it to Hawthorne tonight. We'll have to make a camp. Is that okay?
Of course.
Something I can do for you? I'm Mr. Gardner. My wife is here.
Was here. Not now. This Gardner and a young fella rode out south about 4 hours ago.
Where did you meet Louis? My husband. Where did you meet him?
I didn't.
Oh, you said he sent you.
Ma'am, I said a man sent me. You were the one that said it was your husband.
You tricked me.
You tricked yourself, and I let you, because I wanted to get you out of that town without a lot of squabble.
I'm going back to Auburn.
Listen to me. You got business in Hawthorne. They got Candy in jail there, and they're saying he killed a lady named Ella Peterson.
Candy.
That's right. They got him charged with murder. He needs you. He needs you to tell the authorities in Hawthorne about him getting knocked out and robbed in Suggsville. Will you do that?
Yes. I can do that.
There's one more thing they need to know, and it's very important. And that's what time the two of you rode into Hawthorne.
I don't know. I don't carry a watch.
Well, neither does Candy, but he knew what time it was. Now think.
The Angelus was ringing as we rode up to the hotel. Does that help?
Man, that makes the difference between life and death. Ben Cartwright took me in. And all of a sudden, I had, it was Joe, Jamie, and of course, Candy to be with. Oh, and it took me a while to get used to trusting people. And there was this cook, this hop singer, kept yelling at me in Chinese. And I just knew he hated me. I knew it. And then I found out that he was just mad at me because I wasn't eating enough.
What was he saying?
I don't know. But Mr. Cartwright said it's probably a good thing none of us speak Chinese.
You love them, don't you? Like a family.
You know, I reckon that's what a family is. It's loving each other. What else is there?
That's why Candy's being in jail's hurting you so.
Oh, nobody knows what that's like. Not unless they've been there themselves. I'm sorry, that's not a very good thing to be talking about to a lady.
You don't know very much about ladies, do you, Griff?
Some days I don't think I know too much about anything.
You know how to love. There's a girl somewhere. There's a lucky day coming.
Oh, yeah. You love your husband a whole lot, I bet, don't you?
Very much.
Have you got any kids?
No.
You know, you ought to. You ought to have a little girl, I mean, to be pretty just like you, and then she ought to have a brother to do her fighting for. Okay? Did I say something wrong?
No. No, I'm just tired.
Yeah, I should have known it. I'm sorry, all right?
That's all right.
Here, let me fix that for you. We'll go to bed.
You didn't mind my kissing you goodnight, did you?
No, I didn't. Okay?
Mrs. Gardner, Ben Cartwright, thank you so much for coming here. I can't tell you how much we appreciate it. And thank you, Griff.
Your son said you have a room for me. Thank you.
Yes, just driving home from our suite.
Yeah, she's all checked.
Thank you.
Would you like to freshen up?
Indeed, yes. Then I'd like to see Candy.
Yes, he wants to see you, too.
Mr. Cartwright?
Oh, Mrs. Gardner.
Kate would be simpler.
Thank you. This is Mr. Oscar Hamner, Candy's attorney. Very good one, too.
I hate to be so abrupt, but I need an answer to a potentially dangerous question before somebody else asks it. Why 2 names, and why did you leave Hawthorne so suddenly?
Well, it was simply silly. Just plain female. I was a married woman traveling alone. Candy made a dismal evening fun. I told him my maiden name to avoid being looked up at another time. I left town as I did because I was a coward escaping involvement.
Sounds very reasonable.
Yes, it does. Well, Mr. Hamner and I have seen Candy twice already today, so we won't intrude on your visit.
Thank you. Candy?
Oh, Kate. Oh, I'm glad to see you.
Griff sends his love. He's outside. He said you'd understand.
Yeah, I do. He's a good boy.
Forgive me.
Forgive you for what? You had places to go, things to do, but you're here now. That's what's important.
I'll stay as long as you need me.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's going to take long enough now. There's going to be a lot of shouting and yelling, and then they're going to open up this door and throw me right out of here. And then I'm going to buy you a dinner at a really good hotel.
I'd like that.
May I speak to Mr. Hamner, please?
Wait a minute. Schulte. Yes?
I understand your witness is here. May I see her?
You know the procedure on that.
I'm just trying to do you a favor, young fellow. Don't I have to pull the courthouse down over your ears?
Mrs. Catherine Gardner, this is Frank Schulte, the prosecuting attorney.
Catherine Gardner, also known as Kate Fallon.
My maiden name.
You are a maiden with a lot of names, it seems. Kate Farr, Kathleen Farragut, Catherine Foster, Kate Finley.
Sir.
Kitty
Mr.
Gilmore,
Schulte!
Kate Spangler.
May I ask what that is you're reading from?
An innovation of my term as State Attorney General, Mr. Hamner. This is a copy of the State Bureau of Criminal Records file.
My record. Griff, would you go outside, please?
No, Kate.
Shall I read it, Mr. Hamner?
I'm sure you will, so why ask?
Arrested age 15, soliciting. Arrested ages 16 and 17, resorting.
You're a liar.
90 days.
You're a rotten liar. 13 people like you, I know.
Don't you leave. Now leave or don't say another word.
You read the rest yourself, Mr. Hamner. You put her on the stand, and I will paint the walls with her blood.
I'll put her on the stand. And when I do, she'll give me all the names listed there and all the details on that card. And you won't be able to discredit her then.
You know, one of these days you will be a trial lawyer. But not just yet. That little trick you just mentioned, it isn't new. It's been tried before.
in murder cases that I was prosecuting. The state hanged both men. I'll see you in court, Counselor. Kate, why didn't you tell me?
Do us both a favor. Just go away.
Mr. Cartwright, help her, please.
I must say David just took a licking. Goliath won that one.
Yeah, sure did. Question is, what do we do now?
Fight, if the lady's willing.
I'll do whatever you say.
She's gonna hurt more than help. Schulte will hit her with everything he's got.
I want him to. Now, we can't hide her record. I want him to tear her apart. I'll object only when I know that the court will rule against me.
Looking for sympathy?
Exactly. Schulte will keep pounding her. The court will seem to favor him. But men can't stand to see women hurt beyond a certain point. So once they swing to her side, they'll believe her, even if it's just to punish Schulte. Will you do it?
Of course. I won't let Candy hang.
Thank you.
Now, if you don't mind, this witness can use a little rest. Helping someone not to die in your place, if I can.
By doing what?
By proving he couldn't have been with Ella Peterson when she died.
So then go on looking for the man who was. No, I got me a better idea. Those smart lawyers will break you. Well, let them. And then you'll tell the court that you testified because the Cartwrights paid you to alibi Candy.
No, Louis. No more. Nothing. Ever. Now, you better start running while you can, because I'm not going to let him hang.
This is no time for an argument. We're both going to hang. Now get your things. I said get your things!
I told him he'd kill somebody someday. He tried to kill me.
Well, he can't hurt you now.
He can't. But the law will hurt both of us.
Oh, don't you worry about that. Everything's gonna be fine.
Please, no lies. And Griff, try to think kindly of me.
Kate, I couldn't do anything else.
I talked to Mr. Schulte. There is no doubt that Kate and Lewis will be convicted. But in view of Kate's recent actions, Mr. Schulte is inclined to be lenient. He's sure he can convince the court to be merciful.
Oh, good. Well, David, any particular plans now, or just more Goliaths?
Plans, yes. Grow a beard, get older, then maybe the United States Supreme Court.
Well,
Well, I wouldn't bet against it. Mr. Hamner. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.